Hello, my young grasshoppers. We are going to do a little bit of a review here. Go ahead and get out a piece of paper and get ready for these review problems. Our review is actually going to be over all the different problems in Unit 7, so you're going to see a little bit of everything. Okay, we will finish with the last couple being focused on the multiplying polynomial stuff that is going to be on our power assignment. Okay, we will take the power assignment 7.4 at the end of class. Okay, so here's going to be your first set of problems. These are all division problems. Okay, reminder, okay, when you multiply, or sorry, excuse me, because we're dividing. When we are dividing, we're going to subtract exponents. Okay, those are our basic rules here. All right. So would please pause the video and give the students 4 minutes to complete these problems. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here. The first one, remember we want to start with the fractions first. So fraction, 2/3, cannot be simplified, it's still 2/3. The x's are being divided, so I'm going to subtract those exponents. So it'd be -3 minus -4. Okay, you got to make sure you're doing that right. Minus negative turns into plus, so I end up with x to the first power. Okay, now remember, doesn't have a buddy. Okay, you got to look at what type of exponent it has. So this is a positive exponent. It's a +2 on that exponent. So I'm going to leave them wherever they are at in the problem. So since he was on the bottom, I'm going to leave him right there on the bottom. Okay, number 2. Okay, the fraction first. 4/2. That's going to simplify to be 2. Yeah, I might have to move that off to the side here. Put that right here, 2. The A's are being divided now. These are kind of in a mixed up order, so you want to be careful. We're subtracting the exponents. So for the A's, I have 4 minus -2. Well, minus negative turns that into plus, so that's going to be b to the 6. The B's are divided. I need to subtract those exponents. That'd be 3 minus 1. Okay, you got to make sure that you understand that bottom one is b to the first. So, good Lord, Mr. Alone. A to the 6, not b to the 6. Now for my b's, that would be b squared. Sorry about that, guys. Just randomly wrote down a b instead of an a. So this is our correct answer for number 2. Okay, this is our correct answer for number 2. Number 3. The fraction 3/3 is 1. Now, I'm not going to write down the 1 right now. I'm just going to leave it as is. The y's are divided, so I need to subtract those exponents. So it would be, for my y's, going to have -3 minus -2. Minus negative turns to plus. So I'm going to have y to the -1 power. So I'm going to go ahead and move that to the bottom as y to the first. The x here does not have a buddy. Doesn't have a buddy, but he does have a negative exponent, so I need to move him up. Number 4. 2/4 simplifies to be 1/2. Okay, so I'm going to have 1/2 there. My m's are divided. That's m to the first over m to the -3, so I need to subtract those exponents. 1 minus -3 is +4. Sorry, I need more space. M to the 4th. My n's are also being divided, so I need to subtract those exponents. -2 minus -3. Minus negative turns into plus, and that would be n to the 1st. And that would be my answer. Okay, the last one here in this set, the division problem. Okay, first for the numbers, go ahead and divide those. So 6.3 divided by 2.7. I'm going to get 2.3 repeating. I'm going to have to round this. Okay, and now I'm just going to stop it right there. Then times 10 with my base 10s. They're divided. I need to subtract those exponents. So 1 minus 6 is -5. Remember, with scientific notation, okay, we leave that negative exponent, just like it is. Tells us about the number. I did not have to fix it. Goldilocks rule. This one is just right. Okay. So please pause the video. Give the students 4 minutes to complete these multiplication problems. All right, let's take a look here. Okay, number one, a's are multiplied. Remember, we add the exponents. So 4 plus 2 is 6. The b's are multiplied. Remember, we have to add the exponents. 4 plus negative 4 is 0. Therefore, I do not have any b's in my answer. Number 2, this is x to the first. Okay, make sure you put that there. It's helpful. Okay, it's all multiplied. The x's are multiplied. So I need to add those exponents. 1 plus 3 is 4. The y's are multiplied. I would have negative 2 plus 4, and that would be positive 2. And this would be my answer. Okay, number 3. Start with my numbers that are bases. 3 times 3 is 9. My x's are multiplied. It's x to the first and x squared, so I'm going to add those exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. My y's are multiplied. I need to make sure I understand that's y to the first. I need to add those exponents. Negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. Therefore, I'm going to put them on the bottom. And the last one of this type, number 4. Numbers that are bases first. 4 times 3 is 12. The u's are multiplied, so I need to add those exponents. 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. I'm going to go ahead and put u the first on the bottom. And the v's are multiplied. Negative 4 plus 4. Well, negative 4 plus 4 is 0. Therefore, that's gone. And that's my answer. Okay. Now, the scientific notation. Bases that are numbers. Okay, and these don't have exponents. I need to multiply them. So 5.1 times 5.31. Oops, typed it in. 5.1 times 5.31. I'm getting 27.081. My base 10s, they're multiplied, so I need to add those exponents. 3 plus negative 9 is negative 6. And when I check this out, I look at this front number. This is too big. Remember, big numbers get positive exponents. So I'm going to add some exponents to this, and I need to move this one spot, so I'm going to add one exponent. Okay, so this would be 2.7081 times 10 to the negative 5. Okay. All right, let's look at the power property stuff. Someone please pause the video and give the students 5 minutes to complete these problems. Let's take a look here. Now remember, power property, you're allowed to multiply exponents. So for the 2, it's 1 times 4 is 4. And then I have to figure out what 2 to the 4th power is. 2 to the 4th power is 16. For the x, 2 times 4 is 8. For the y, 3 times 4 is 12. And that one's done. For number 2, remember we're multiplying exponents. So for the 3, it's 1 times 4 is 4, and I need to figure out what 3 to the 4th power is. Happens to be 81. For the n, negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Therefore, I have it on the bottom. Okay, I said 81 over n to the 4th. Oop, get out of here. Hold on a second. All right, the combination problems. Okay, first, I'm going to take care of my parentheses. So this happens to the power property here. Remember the one little detail we did talk about was we're not going to worry about fixing negative exponents until after we're done with the problem. I already wrote down this x to the 4th, x y to the 4th, because that's done, and now I'm doing my power property. For the y, 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. Sorry, for the y, 1 times negative 2 is negative 2, so that's y to the negative 2. For the x, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. And now I multiply with my x's. 1 plus negative 8 is negative 7, so I'm going to have x to the 7th on the bottom. With the y's, 4 plus negative 2 is positive 2, so I leave it up on the top. And that would be my answer. Number 4, I'm going to move it over here to the middle. The top part, there's nothing to do yet, so I'm going to write that down. On the bottom here, I have the power property. So I need to take care of this. Multiplying the exponents. For the A, negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. For the B, 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. And notice I didn't worry about fixing them yet. I'm going to do the problem first. Now I'm doing my division. So I got to switch in my brain. When I divide, I subtract exponents. With the A's, I have 4 minus 9. That's negative 5, so I'm going to have a to the 5th on the bottom. With the B's, I have negative 2 minus negative 9. Well, minus negative turns that to plus, so I'm going to have b to the 7th on top. Okay? Last one here, scientific notation. So I start off, this is still the power property. Remember, you're multiplying both of those exponents. So 4.25 raised to the third power. I need to figure out what that is. So 4.25 raised to the third power. I'm getting 76 point, I'm going to have to round this, 766. Okay? Times 10 raised to the, see, 4 times 3, so it'd be raised to the 12th power. I look at it, this is not right. And I look at this number's too big. So too big, I'm going to add exponents, move one spot, add one exponent. And my answer is going to be 7.6766 times 10 to the 13th power. And you might have rounded a little differently than me, okay? And we'll have a little bit of leeway there. All right, undo, add, and subtract. I'm going to go a little quicker through these, okay? But I want you to pause the video and give the students 4 minutes to complete these 4 problems. All right, number 1. It's a positive, nothing to fix on either one because they both have positive ones in front. So I should have 9b to the 4th plus 4b to the 3rd. For number 2, this is a subtraction problem. Okay, so the second part of this, I need to distribute that negative 1. Okay, and if you don't mind, I'm going to put it up top here. It's going to be negative 3x plus 7x to the 4th. And I like to scratch this off like I had showed you before. That way I don't accidentally use it later. Okay, my x to the 4th, 4 plus 7 is 11. That's the only x to the 3rd. And then negative 1x and negative 3x for those last ones, that would be negative 4x. And that would be my answer. Number 3 is subtraction. Okay, so first thing I'm going to have to do is I need to distribute my negative 1, just like I did on number 2. So that'd be negative 7v, negative 5v to the 4th, and positive 7v squared. And then I'm going to scratch this off so I don't accidentally use it when I'm combining my terms. Okay, from here, I'm going to combine. So my v to the 4th, 4 plus negative 5 is negative 1. And you don't have to have the actual 1 there. Let me erase this real quick. They'll write it like this in multiple choice. Okay, without the 1, and just say negative x to the 4th instead of negative 1x to the 4th. Those are gone. My v squareds. 4v squared and 7v squared is 11v squared. And then the last one's my v's. That's 1v and negative 7v, so it'd be negative 6v. Okay, last one's addition. Okay. And in addition, there's nothing I need to do. So let's just start combining like terms. The x to the 4th would be 7x to the 4th. Okay. My 5x to the 3rd here is the only one of that type. Don't want to forget about it. And then 5 plus 6 is 11. Remember, the order you write them in doesn't necessarily matter for right now, as long as you have those 3. All righty. We're going to focus in now on the things that are going to be on the power assignment. And that's our multiplication and multiplication of polynomials. So here's our first set. Okay, remember these are the types of problems you're going to see on your power assignment. Okay, if the sub would please pause the video and give the students 5 minutes to complete these problems. All right. For number one, one thing times two things. So I just make a 1 by 2 box, monomial on the side, binomial on top. And make sure that when we're multiplying, we're adding our exponents. So 8m times 7m is 56m squared. Okay? 8m times negative 4 is negative 32m. Remember, I cannot leave it like that. I have to write it out, okay, as a polynomial outside the box. This would be 56m squared minus 32m. Now, you don't have to use a box on problems like number one, okay? It is really just a distributive property. So it'll show you here just distributive property for this one. 2n to the third times 2n squared. That'd be 4n to the fifth. Remember, you have to add the exponents when we multiply. 2n to the third times negative 7n, that'd be negative 14n to the fourth. A lot of times people forget about adding that 1, okay, for the negative 7n to the first. And then 2n times 2, 2n to the third times 2, that'd be positive 4n to the third. Okay? Number 3, a binomial times a binomial. I need my 2 by 2 box. So one of the binomials goes on the side, one of the binomials goes on the top. And we multiply. 5x times 4x is 20x squared. 5x times negative 6 is negative 30x. On to the bottom. Negative 7 times 4x is negative 28x. Negative 7 times negative 6 is positive 42. Now I'm adding up my like terms. So x squared is the only one of that type. My x's in the middle combined. So negative 28 plus negative 30 is negative 58. And then I have the positive 42. Last one here, number 4. Binomial times a binomial. So I'm going to make my 2 by 2 box. Put it in the middle here. One of the binomials on the side, so 5b minus 1, and one of the binomials on the top. Then we got to do our multiplications. So we got 5b times 6b. That's 30b squared. Don't forget to add the exponents when we multiply. 5b times 6 is 30b. Down to the negative 1. Negative 1 times 6b is negative 6b. And negative 1 times 6 is negative 6. Then I'm adding up my like terms. So I'd have 30b squared. I'm going to add these b's up. Negative 6 plus 30 is positive 24b. Remember, when we add, we don't mess with exponents. Then we have negative 6. And that'd be the answer for number 4. One last set here before we take the power assignment. So please pause the video and give students 5 minutes to complete these 4 problems. All right, let's take a look here. Number 1, okay, most missed problem whenever I put it on power assignments or unit exams, because we try to do this like the power property. Remember, we got to make our 2 by 2 box. Okay, this means I have 2x minus 6 times 2x minus 6. So I have to make sure that I'm filling it out using a 2 by 2 box, or I'm not going to do all the multiplications. So 2x minus 6 multiplied to 2x minus 6. Do all my multiplications. It'd be 4x squared, negative 12x. On the bottom then, negative 12x, positive 36. And I add them all up. Add up the like ones. So I have 4x squared minus 24x plus 36. That'd be our answer for number 1. For number 2, binomial times a binomial. Make your 2 by 2 box. This would be 5x minus 7, 4x minus 6. Remember, you just got to put your binomials in spots there. And multiply. So I have 20x squared for x times negative 7, negative 28x. Negative 6 times 5x is negative 30x. Negative 6 times negative 7 is 42. Combine all my like terms. So I'm going to have 20x squared minus 58x plus 42. Okay. Last couple here. Need a 2 by 3 box for this one. So I just need a bigger box. Make sure you put your binomial on the side and your trinomial on the top. Nice to have more multiplications to do. Okay, so take your time, multiplying by the 7v first. This would be 42v to the third, negative 28v squared, and 21v. On the bottom, I would have negative 6v squared, positive 4v, and negative 3. Add up my like terms. So I would have the 42v to the third. Now these v squareds go together. I add them up. I'm going to get negative 34v squared. Add up my v's. I'm going to get 25v, then minus 3. And that would be my answer. Okay, same idea, just a bigger box. Very last one here. Okay, I'm going to give you your answer here. Okay, you would make the 2 by 2 box. You should have gotten 30b squared. So it would be negative 6 and 30 plus 24b minus 6. Check that real quick. Yes. Okay, now we are going to be taking the power assignment, so clear desks of everything with the exception of a writing utensil and a calculator. Okay, you don't necessarily need a scientific notation calculator for the test. You are not allowed to use phones as your calculators. You guys know that, so don't you try that today. Okay, good luck on your power assignment, and we will see you on Monday. Bye.